Hello and welcome to the reconstructions of my 20.33 PR mean plus world champion mean. I'm super happy with this mean. This is probably the most stress I've ever felt during an official anything, an official mean, an official average, an official solve. I'm just overjoyed that it turned out as well as it did, and holy crap. World champion. I still can't quite believe it. But anyways, here's the first solve. Going into this first solve, I was pretty nervous. It was mostly fine. I was having fun, and I was expecting to just get an average solve and just be chilling. Maybe have a shot at podium. Just be in the running, Don't fail completely. And well, if you've seen the results for this competition, you might know what's coming next. So on this RL axis, there are 4 bad edges. They are here, here, and here. And there are a couple ways of making 3-move EOs from here. You can do U prime, B prime to get all of the bad edges on this R face, and then R to make edge orientation in 3 moves. And I checked both of these and they were not all that great. And so then I started checking extensions. So just slightly different ways to modify these 3-move EOs in order to get 4-move EOs. And one of those extensions actually ended up giving something really good. So that extension was when you do an L2, which is just a nothing move. It doesn't affect any of these bad edges. And now that same 3-move EO, so U prime, B prime, R. So that's EO in 4 moves. And here it gave 7C80. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna switch off this 7C80 because it's just 4 moves. I didn't fully internalize at the time that if I traced I did trace ARM, but somehow my stupid brain was like, I know this ARM is 2C4E, which is generally pretty bad, but I'm gonna switch off of it anyway. And I guess that's not the craziest thing in the world, because even though it's a bad ARM, it is 7C80 in 4 moves. But I did switch off of it. So here's what it looks like on the inverse. And surprise, surprise, it's terrible. There aren't any short DRs here to my knowledge. And so it was phooey. This 7C80 is terrible. Should have known. Since I've already switched off of this EO, let's check the other axis, because why the heck not? This is something that is really good to do when switching off of 4 movers with RZP. Basically, you get a free look at this other axis on the inverse, so you might as well check it. And here it paid off, because you can do B prime U to get 2 more moves to 3C2E. So that's 3C2E in 6 moves, which is generally pretty good. A lot of people are gonna switch off of 3C2E in 6, and it's a pretty good benchmark for a good 3C2E. It kind of sucks on this side of the scramble, so I switched. And it also sucks on this side of the scramble. This will only give 12 move DRs. So I was like, drat. I guess I will have to solve the cube and check the next thing. So I was like, B prime, U2, F2, solve DR. That's a 12 move DR. Just for the heck of it, I'm gonna check and see if this is good. Oh, it's 4A1. That's pretty good. This might give something. Let's check HTR. Oh, well, L2F. That is 2 moves to HTR. Well, that's HTR in 14 moves. That's pretty good. Let's try floppy reduction now. Maybe, just maybe this will give something decent. So let's trace corners. That is even. Let's trace edges. That's even. Now let's set up to the U2 state. Oh my gosh. This is very close to being solved. L2, B2, L2. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. That is 19 moves to leaf slice off of a 12 move DR. So yeah, and the slice rewrite gave +1, so that is 20 moves. And at this point I freaked out. Yeah, it was like I was terrified inside. I was like, holy crap. I found a super obscure, wacky, weird 20 move solution, and the scramble is kind of mid. I don't think anyone else is gonna find this. what the hell? How did this happen on attempt 1 of Worlds? Like, oh my god. So I ended up leaving early because I was like, I'm not finding anything better than a 20 off of this. Like, and indeed, this was optimal from the DR. 20 on attempt 1 of Worlds was insane. I actually, afterwards, I checked and I was in the lead by 2 moves over most people. Noah Swore got a 21, several people got a 22, and basically everyone else got 23. Because of this solve, I started off with a really comfortable lead, which honestly only heightened my nerves. But, you know, I guess it worked out in the end. Anyways, on to the next solve. So going into this second attempt, I was really, really nervous. I was like, I want to lock podium. I want to get on the podium for Worlds. You know, I've already got like a 2-move lead over almost everyone. So it's time to lock in on this solve and get a decent solve. Maybe like 21, 22, you know, just something that can keep me in the lead. So this scramble was hella weird. On this axis, there are 8 bad edges, and the 4 good edges are here, 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 and here. And this EO is really, really weird. You can do FBRL to make EO, and there are 4 variations of that. So you can do FBRL, F prime BRL, FB prime R, or F prime B prime RL. And so those are some 4-move variations. And on top of that, before any one of those EOs, you can do a U, U prime U2, D, D prime D2, R, R prime R2, or L, L prime, or L2. So according to my calculations, that is a crap ton of EOs, which is like ridiculous. And also on top of that, there's the same thing on the FB axis on the inverse. So you could do RLFB to make EO on the inverse. So take however many EO variations that is and double it, and good luck. So luckily the good stuff was on the form of EO, so I didn't have to trudge through all those 5 movers. If you do F prime B prime RL, that is a form of EO, and on this axis it gives 7C80. And if you just do L2, which, you know, doesn't add any moves because the last move was an L, it's set up to the 7C80 trigger, which is amazing. So yeah, B prime U, B, D, that's DR in 8 moves. And when I found this, I was like, yes! Like, I was really, really hoping for, you know, an 8-move DR, which is like best case scenario, because I know that if there is an 8-move DR, there's a pretty good chance that whatever human optimal findable solution is going to be off this 8-move DR. And I'm fairly confident in my ability to find optimal off of this 8-move DR in, let's see, in like 45 minutes. So I was like, if I find optimal off this DR, I cannot possibly lose my lead. And there's also a 9-move DR, which is just an extension of that, which is a slightly better subset. And I also checked that. The best I could find off of that was slice in 22. But the optimal finish off of this 8-move DR did give a 21 anyway, so here it is. It's pretty straightforward. So you can do U2, D2, F to reduce to 2 quarter turns. This is the good 2 quarter turn case, which has the 2E. You can set up to RU2, R prime. Afterwards, I switched, and then this is a pretty easy HTR from here. You can do B2, D2 to set up the trigger. I'm going through this kind of fast because it's really unremarkable. B prime U2, B to give HTR. And after this, there's a really easy floppy reduction finish. So you can do U2, L2, D2, B2, L2, which gives leaf slice in 20 moves. And then the rewrite ended up adding 1 move, so that is a 21. So since this solution was so straightforward, you know, form of EO, 8-move DR, just completely linear, and then just an easy-ish 13-move finish. A bunch of people did end up finding this, including a few of those people who had a 21. So I was still in the lead by 2 moves because I had that 20 at the start, but there were a couple people 2 moves behind me, and they had 22, 21. So on the final attempt, they had to get 3 moves better than me in order to win, or they had to get 2 moves better than me to beat me on single if they beat the 20. So going into this last attempt, I was like totally crapping myself. Like I was so nervous, because I knew I had like most likely locked world champion if I did not screw up this last solve. You know, as long as I got somewhere close to what I averaged, I would lock world champion. Like if I got a 22, someone would need a 19 to beat me. And if I got a 21, someone would need an 18. So because of that, my nerves were like through the roof. I wanted to find a decent solution, and well, you'll see what happened. All right, so going into this third attempt, I was so nervous. This is the most nervous I've ever been in my life for an official solve. Like, it was off the charts. Oh my god, like I had gone just non-verbal at this point because I just was so nervous. Like I had dinner the previous night with friends, and I did not say a word because my mind was just like FMC. Yeah, so and like I barely spoke to anyone all day leading up to this attempt because I was just that nervous. It was terrifying. This scramble had a lot of 2+2 Nisios. I think there were 3 of them in total, and the one that I ended up using was on this UD axis. So here on the inverse, there are 6 bad edges, and you can reduce to 4 bad edges with B prime D. So that is 2 moves to 4 bad edges, and after NIST tracing this, the bad edges end up here, 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 and here. So that can just be 2 more moves to EO. So switch, and B prime U makes edge orientation in 4 moves. I did end up switching off of this, and that's because on 2+2 Nisios, and actually just Nis 4 movers in general, I do like to switch off of them because on the inverse you have a move to play with in terms of variations. So I switch again, and did an and here you can do an R move, R, to make 4C2E the RZP. So that's 4C2E in 5 moves. Oh my gosh, I was so nervous. And then I switched again. Here it looks pretty decent. So you can do F prime L to F to set up to the trigger, and now you can do either L prime E to L or R prime F to R to make domino reduction. I ended up going with R prime F to R in the end, and this gives 2C3 4E in 11, which is pretty decent. I knew that if I find optimal off this, I have podium locked. I did R2F to reduce to 2 quarter turns, and then after this I switched, getting a little bit of deja vu here from the last attempt. And again, this is really close to the same HTR pattern as the last attempt. You do R2 to make the bar, B2 D2, B U2 B. Holy crap. R2 F2 R2 B2, leave slice in 20. Oh my god. Let's try leave slice insertions. +0. Oh my god. I found a 20. Holy crap. 20.33 mean. That's world champion. Like, all of the nerves, all of the emotions have been leading up to this moment where I write down the 20 and turn it in. And I did exactly that. As soon as I found this 20, I wrote it down on the paper, checked that it worked like a billion times, and then I gave it to the judge and I left with like 10-15 minutes to spare. And then I walked by Terry in the hallway, and I told Terry I'm world champion, and like, it was amazing. And then I went to Elijah and I was like, Elijah, I'm world champion. And oh my god, like, it was incredible. I don't think my brain and body were entirely prepared to feel an immense amount of happiness so soon after feeling the worst anxiety I've ever felt in my life. So I ended up like lying down on the ground with headphones on, scrolling on Instagram Reels for like 30 to 45 minutes, just in complete shock. It only really hit me once I got back to my hotel room that night, and then I realized, there's no more danger, everything is fine, no more worrying. Holy moly, I'm still kind of lost for words. Not only did I get world champion, but I've been gunning for sub 21 for like the longest time, and I'm just so happy that I got it 20.33. So happy. Anyways, thank you for watching. Yeah, see ya.